Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to GT Series Malaysia Team and Driver Introduction for Season 3 of the GT Series Malaysia. From the last season, we have seen many drivers and many teams that is very competitive. A great performance from Rayyan Danial last weekend, and also Aidil Bukhamil becoming the champion for each category, and a nice performance for the team of BMW and also Team Mavikedi for winning the team championship for the Season 2. For the Season 3, there will be new team joining the grid and also a lot of driver transfer. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the first category, GT Sport. The first team that we're gonna talk about today is the Lamborghini, who demoted themselves into the GT Sport categories with the new team name, actually Squadra Corse, with the Lamborghini engine. Well, Squadra Corse is a team that Lamborghini decided to go with for the Season 3 of the GT Sport category, and with the same driver, which is Daniel Sarimuddin from the GT Super category, and a transfer from Team JMR, which is Nini Ismail, who decided to join with the Squadra Corse Lamborghini. Next up, we have the Khairul Racing Honda. Still look the same engine and the same driver, Rayyan Rafiqi and Khairul Izany. They both will stay with Khairul Racing Honda for another season. Next up, we have Ford, a new team that will be joining GT Sport category with a new driver, which is Frivian Frederick, and a transfer from the Petronas team, Alif Danial. Will the team perform really well this season? Well, it all came down when the season started. Next up, we have the Monster Energy Mclaren. Monster Energy decided to change their engine to Mclaren for this season, but I don't know if that's gonna be a good decision or not, because Ediee Ghazali, which is driving for GT Super last season, got demoted to GT Sport, racing alongside with Kase Batrisha, which finished almost, let's say, on the last place almost every race from last season. But I don't know if this is gonna be a good decision from Monster Energy. Well, it also came down when the season progressed. Next up, we have the AF Corse Ferrari, a new team that will be joining GT Sport with Ford, and also a new driver, which is Zachary Wong, and also a transfer from the Chevrolet driver, which finished in 20th place in the driver championship last season, which is Kiki Ijad. Well, AF Corse Ferrari is a new team that will be joining the GT Sport category grid this season, but hiring a driver that finished in the last place is something weird. A weird decision from the AF Corse Ferrari team principal. Kiki Ijad is not your favorite driver, not a driver to be finishing around top 10, but I don't know about the rookie Zachary Wong. Will he perform this season? Well, we'll see. Next up, we have the team JMK48 Toyota, the only Toyota team that will be in GT Sport category this season. JMK48 will carry the Toyota legacy, but will they be performing like last season Toyota? Well, we'll see. With the driver of Syafiq Adam, who got demoted from the GT Super category into the GT Sport category, and also Haris Ryan, which performed around in the midfield of the GT Sport category last season. Well, next up, we have is the team JMR Mercedes, a team that performed really well last season, with Zuhairah Amani finishing in position 4 in the championship standing last season, and with the driver from the GT Super category which is Tengku Hazrul Samid, which racing in the team JMR in the GT Super category, but he got demoted after not even finishing around in the top 10, not even getting a single point, unlike his brother Tengku Badrul Yassin, which get a ton of points last season, more than Tengku Hazrul Samid. Actually, let Tengku Hazrul Samid not even scoring any point at all. I don't know if this is a good decision from the team JMR, but hopefully this is a great decision after Nini Ismail leave the team for the Lamborghini and Tengku Hazrul Samid taking her place as a replacement. Next up, we have the Mavi KD Porsche, the team that is a champion last season, with the driver of Chanel Shazwan and the academy driver of Adam Iskandar finally making his debut to the GT Sport category, replacing Hanako Liyue, who got to drive for Aston Martin at the GT Super category. Next up, we have Shell Racing Chevrolet. Shell Racing decided to quit sponsoring Ferrari. They decide to go to GT Sport and sponsor Chevrolet instead, with Herman Ibrahim staying with the team, and also the returning driver from the OG GT Series Malaysia, Faznin Ali, who drive for Proton R3 in the OG GT Series Malaysia. He come back with the Shell Racing Chevrolet to show his performance back again. Will this team perform and finish on top this season? Well, we'll see. Next up, we have the Team 1XOX Audi, with the driver of Albino Irfan and also a returning driver, which is Nina Selina from the OG GT Series Malaysia. 1XOX also the team that changed their engine from Porsche to Audi. Will they be performing on the top this season? Well, we'll see. Next up, we're gonna go to the GT Super category team and driver. First of all, we have the Axel Racing Honda. They will be using the same engine like last season. Well, here's the difference actually between the GT Super and GT Sport category. GT Sport will be using a different engine instead of a prototype engine. They'll be using a road car engine, which is like a normal Mercedes car, sports car, like a normal Audi car. But here in the GT Super category, they will be still using the prototype engine to make the team of the GT Super faster than the GT Sport category. With Honda here, Honda will be using the same engine. They did not upgrade their engine. They will be using the same NS024 engine like last season. Well, Axel Racing Honda changing the engine from the Lamborghini into Honda is something that is interesting. But will they be performing on the top? Well, we'll see. With the Jeremy Kamaruzaman and also a transfer from the McLaren, Andy Muhammad will be driving for the team. Next up, we have the McLaren. McLaren upgraded their engine into MC73 from the MC72 engine, which is a Season 2 engine for McLaren. And with the driver of Badrul Yassin, who's performing really well to fight for the championship, but didn't get the championship, and he lose it to Liam Daniel. And also a transfer from the Audi team, which is Muhammad Hasbullah Aziz, the Otai, decided to go to McLaren and join the team and fight on the top. Next up, we have the Aston Martin. Last season in the GT Sport, they were using AMR1, but joining GT Super this season, they decided to upgrade their engine into the AMR2, with Syafiq Roslan staying at the Aston Martin and also did get promoted to GT Super and driving alongside his rival for the championship in the GT Sport last season, which is Hanako Liyue. A really close battle last season from Hanako Liyue with Aidil Bukhamil, but on the last race, he tried his best, but still lose to the Aidil Bukhamil anyway. But will they performing really well this season? Will they fight for the championship? Will they finish on the first place on the GT Super category? Well, we'll see when the season started. Next up, we have the one and only, the team that is on the top of the championship, BMW Racing. With a new livery instead of a blue and red, they decided to go all style like a white and blue livery, with the champion of the GT Super category, which is Liam Danial, and also the second driver, which is Ediee Ghazali. Well, we can say already that this team is gonna be on the top with the new engine, the PM5. Last season they are using PM4, but this season they will be using a PM5 engine, which is an upgraded engine and probably more faster than last season. Well, I can say already that this team will be the champion of the season again, with the engine that is probably much faster, much better than last season, and more reliable. Well, based on the statistic from the preseason testing that I will show in a little bit after the team and driver introduction, I think this team will be on the top of the championship in the GT Super category. Now moving on to the next team. The next team that we're going to talk about is the Squadra Corse Ferrari. In the GT Sport, we have the Lamborghini, Squadra Corse Lamborghini, but in GT Super, we have the Squadra Corse Ferrari. Squadra Corse Lamborghini decided to sponsor Ferrari for one season. So they kind of make a collaboration with Ferrari and decided to sponsor Ferrari to help them upgrade their engine from the Ferrari F21, which is not even a performing engine in the season 2 of the GT Series Malaysia, and they upgraded from F21 into F22 engine. Sound like an American fighter jet, but hopefully this car fly faster like a jet instead of last season that drive like a snail. Well, with the same driver like last season, Zachary Wong and Ariadhna Salleh, they both didn't even wanting to change team at all. They decided to stay for one more season with the Squadra Corse Ferrari. Next up, we have the team Hax Audi. Last season, Audi is sponsored by Shimizu, but they decided to quit GT Series Malaysia. So Hax make an entry in the GT Series Malaysia and decided to sponsor Audi. Audi with the last season Hanif Rofi, who's fighting for the championship for the Audi, but lose to Liam Daniel alongside with Muhammad Hasbullah. But Muhammad Hasbullah have made his transfer to the Mclaren. So Rosli Putra, an OG GT Series Malaysia driver, which also drive for Shimizu Audi, and the OG GT Series Malaysia, make his comeback with Hax Audi. Next up we have is the JMK Chevrolet, the team that racing using an BMW engine last season. They made a change with Chevrolet, with a new color, new livery, and the same driver, which is Naqib Udin, and alongside him is Alif Ramdan, that got promoted from GT Sport category into the GT Super category. Next up we have is the Monster Energy Porsche, a team that will be in GT Super category and the only team that will be using a Porsche engine since last season, Monster Energy. With the same driver, Hasnawawi will be staying in the team for one more season, and a new driver who got fired, I can say, or let's say quit from Aston Martin, that's the safer way to say it, Aqil Danial. And Monster Energy Porsche thinks that Aqil Danial have the talent to be on the top. But I don't know if this is a good decision from the principal of the Monster Energy Porsche, but hopefully this is for the best. Next up we have the team JMR Mercedes, a team that is performing really well like the GT Sport category. The team JMR Mercedes with the driver of Tengku, Badrul Yassin, and a new driver that got hired, which this driver drive for Lamborghini last season, which performed really well after the start of the season, which finished in the back, but then they all come back into the midfield. Sofi Sabri made the transfer from the Lamborghini into the team JMR Mercedes, replacing Tengku Hazrul Naim, which didn't even get any point and got demoted into GT Sport category for the team JMR Mercedes. But will this team perform really well and finish on the higher up of the championship standing? Well, we'll see when the season progressed. Next up, and finally, we have The Petronas Toyota, the Toyota team that got promoted into the GT Super category and made their collaboration with the Petronas. Petronas didn't appear in the GT Sport category for season 3 for some reason, and they decided to focus their money into the Toyota and trying to make progress, trying to make the team and the engine more advanced with the driver which is a champion of the GT Sport category, Aidil Bukhamil, and alongside him is the driver from the last season in the GT Super category, which driving for Petronas also, Hazrul Naim. This team, I can say, is one of the greatest teams so far in my eyes. Petronas Toyota. Will they be the best team? Will they be the fastest team? And will this team be able to fight and contest with BMW for the championship of the GT Super category for this season? Well, that is all of the team and drivers introduction for the GT Sport and the GT Super category. And without further ado, let's go and see the pre-season testing result for the both category. Let's go see the GT Sport category pre-season testing first. Daniel Sarimudin finished in P1, which is a very surprising result with a lap time of 1:18.212, with Ediee Ghazali finishing in second for Monster Energy Mclaren, just 600 a second off. And also in position 3 we have the son of the Otai, Muhammad Amirul Aziz, replacing Zuhairah Amani for the preseason testing. And also Isaac Wong finished in 4th with 1.5 second behind. And the two Shell Racing Chevrolet in position 5 and 6 with a lap time of 1:19, which is not even that fast, but I can say that they are going to aim for the top for the season 3 of the GT Series Malaysia. Nina Selina making a comeback in position 7 for 1XOX, but 2.4 second off from the Lamborghini, which is the Daniel Sarimudin. And the fourth driver of Rivian, Frederick, making his debut, finishing in position 9 by 4 seconds behind. Oh, I accidentally skipped Tengku Samid there. Well, I can say that Tengku Samid might get some point from the GT Sport category, but he is still 3 seconds off from the GT Super demoted driver Daniel Sarimudin and Ediee Ghazali. Albino Irfan, which is Nina Selina teammate, finished in position 10 with a lap time of 1:22.793, 4 seconds behind. And also Mavi KD, the champion of the season 2 of the GT Series Malaysia GT Sport category, Adam Iskandar, that making his debut, finishing position 11 and 5.2 seconds behind the Lamborghini. Well, I can say all of them is using their sports car engine, which is a road regulation, and it could be a mix when the season started. And continuing on with position 12, Chanel Shazwan, also from Marvi Kadi, finishing position 12, 5 seconds behind also. And also Syafiq Adam, who got demoted from the GT Super category, finished in position 13 with a lap time of 1:23.639. And Kiki Ejat surprisingly finished in position 14 instead of last position, just 5 seconds behind also. And Kasih Batusha, who is driving for Monster Energy Mclaren, is 6.5 seconds behind in position 15. Isni Ismail making her transfer from the Team GMR with the Squadra Course Lamborghini, 6.7 seconds behind in position 16. And Harris Ryan from the GMK48 Toyota, which is 6.9 seconds behind in position 17. And Herod Racing Honda, surprisingly, they might have an issue or something. They made a lot of laps, 24 and 23 laps from Khairul Izany and also Rayyan Rafiqi, but they are 7 seconds behind. But much more worse is for Alif Danial, with 26 laps done during the preseason testing, finishing position 20, and the fastest that he can do is only 1:26.304, which is 8.8 seconds behind Daniel Sarimudin, which is so slow for GT Sport category. Next up, we're gonna move on for the GT Super pre-season testing result. Well, what can I say? Surprise, surprise! Aidil Bukhamil set a lap time of 1:40.375, faster than Liam Daniel. Liam Daniel just missed out by 365,000 of a second. But maybe because Aidil Bukhamil keep practicing, trying to get experience with the GT Super style and the new car. Because if we can take a look here, Aidil Bukhamil set 36 lap, much more than everyone else. And Liam Daniel only set 26 lap in second and only managed 1:47.38. But it's just precision testing. We didn't know, we can't confirm yet who will be on the top. And the two JMR, Tengku, Badrul Yassin and Sofi Sabri in position 3 and 4. Just 1 second behind the two champion. The champion of GT Sport and the champion of GT Super in position 1 and 2. And next up, we have Hanif Rofi in position 5 from Audi. Also 1.5 second behind. Not far off Team GMR Mercedes. Badrul Yassin in position 6 for McLaren. Also 1.6 second. This driver in position 3, 4, and 5, and 6 probably can fight for the title, but I'm not sure. Hazrul Naim, which is Aidil Bukhamil teammate, finished in position 7 with a lap time of 1:18.642, 2.2 second of Aidil Bukhamil. But I can say they might fight really greatly, really fiercely for the championship, for the team championship, I can say. And Muhammad Hasbullah Aziz in position 8, the Otai finishing with a lap time of 1:16.667, 293,000 of a second away from Aidil Bukhamil. Jeremy Kamaruzaman from the Aqil Racing Honda finishing position 9 with a lap time of 1:18.965 to just 2.5 second, and Hasnawawi from the Monster Energy Porsche in position 10 with 2.6 second. And much more surprisingly is Ediee Ghazali. The BMW Racing already performing really well, but Ediee Ghazali finished in position 11, even though he set more lap than Liam Daniel lap, and only can set a lap time of 1:17.2, 2.8 second off the leader of the precision testing, which is Aidil Bukhamil. But hopefully this is the result only from the precision testing, and I hope they can perform much better when the season started. Andy Muhammad, who made the transfer from Mclaren to Aqil Racing Honda, finished in position 12. Not much progress made so far, with the 24 lap set and a lap time of 1:18.038, the fastest that he can set, and 3.6 second off the leader Aidil Bukhamil. And also the Aston Martin, who make their debut for the GT Super category in position 13. The fastest that they can set is 1:18.455 by Syafiq Roslan, which is in position 13. And they are seriously need to make a progress quick, because they are 4 seconds off if they want to fight for the championship. Rosli Putra, Hanif Rofi teammate, who made their comeback in the GT Series Malaysia in position 14 with a lap time of 1:18.9, which is 4.5 seconds off from the top. Alif Ramdan from JMK Chevrolet in position 15 with a lap time of 1:20.740, 6 seconds off. And the two Squadra Cross Ferrari of Ariadhna Salleh and Zachary Wong, even with the upgrade, they still need to make a lot of progress, because they still far from the top of the championship. They are 6.6 second and 6.7 second off in position 16 and 17. But I can say they might just warming up. They might make their progress when the season starts. Hanako Liyue in position 18, making the debut in the GT Super category alongside Syafiq Roslan, finished in position 18 with a lap time of 1:21.324, 6.9 second off. And what's worse is Aqil Danial in position 19. Let's say, including with the Naqib Udin, they are far away, even they are not even close with Hanako Liyue. Look at the lap time, 122.8, and Hanako Liyue is 121.3. Aqil Danial need to learn quick because he is 8.2 seconds off, and that is already worse in position 19. And Naqib Udin, I don't know what happened. Last Udin performing really well, but for some reason he dropped down in position 20 with a lap time of 122.8, which is 8.5 seconds off. It's a level of GT Sport category level. 122.8 is like the level of just behind Albino Irfan in position 10 in the GT Sport category, and also Adam Iskandar in position 11. It's a GT Sport category level. He needs to be on the top if he wants to make progress, or he might get demoted from the JMK Chevrolet team. And that is all from the preseason testing for the GT Series Malaysia season number 3 from the GT Super and the GT Sport category. The calendar will be the same with the round 1, which is the Vancouver GP for the first round of the Season 3 GT Series Malaysia. And round 2, we will stay with the Noordwijk GP also, and a new round in round 3, which is a Stewart Island GP, the longest track of the GT Series Malaysia season so far. And Miami GP will be on the round 4, and also the same final round will be the Dubai GP. And that is all from today from the preseason testing and the team and drivers introduction for the GT Series Malaysia season number 3. I will see you guys in the first round of the GT Series Malaysia at the Vancouver GP. I will see you there.